Heineken responsibly. And Capital One, what's in your wallet?
We just got married.
We're all under one roof now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How many kids?
My two, his three.
Along with 2 dogs and Jake, our new parrot.
That is quite the family.
Quite a lot of colleges to pay for, though.
A lot of colleges.
Okay, you get any financial advice?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's the same plan they sold me before.
Well, your situation's totally changed now.
Right.
How about a plan that works for 5 kids, 2 dogs, and Jake over here?
That'd be great.
That would be great.
That okay with you, Jake?
Get a portfolio that works for you now and as your needs change from TD Ameritrade Investment Management.
The unmistakable Cadillac XT4. Once again, driving is wonderful. Starting under $36,000.
48 Auburn in the lead. Jared Harper does everything for this Auburn Tigers team, whether it's facilitating the offense, attacking the rim, being aggressive off the bounce, or of course his innate ability to find the open shot. You go under a screen, you give him space from beyond the arc. He's going to be able to knock down that perimeter three-point shot, Tom. And to me, he's one of those rare guards in college basketball, a guy that doesn't get a lot of attention and probably deserves a lot more for what he's been able to do and how integral of a part he is to Auburn's success. You mentioned it in the first half. Every question Bruce Pearl had at shoot-around, he was the guy to answer.
He's been under the radar his whole life. He was 5'2" as a high school freshman, and he started dunking as a high school sophomore. Now 5'10" junior out of Mableton, Georgia, Pebblebrook High School. And Jared Harper forming a dangerous backcourt with Bryce Brown. 7-0 run for Auburn has led to their largest lead of the game.
Good ball movement that time. Hammond's had his feet set to close out just a little bit late by Spencer.
Sean Hammonds has 8. Obviously, Georgia needs to find some offense, Sean.
Well, more importantly than their offense, Tom, is they need to get stops at the defensive end of the floor.
We'll hear what Bruce Pearl has to say in his huddle after he stepped away for this timeout. His team leads by 10.
I'm a little bit country.
Oh, and I'm a little bit rock and roll.
I'm a little bit of Memphis and Nashville.
With a little bit of Motown in my soul. I don't know if it's good or bad.
But I know I love it so.
With a little bit of country.
A little bit of rock and roll.
The all-new Chevy Silverado. It's a little bit country, and it's a little bit rock and roll.
Sweat. Dedication. Cupcakes.
I'm Michael Griffin.
I'm Brian Arakpo.
We play football together for the Titans.
Now, we own a cupcake shop. We bake, we decorate. I love this new Surface Pro. It's light, it's sleek, it's fast.
I'm able to draw what color frosting we want. We deal a lot with social media.
We have funny videos that we do in the bakery. There's nothing that you can't do on this device. Cupcakes are a great business.
Oh yeah, as long as you don't need the profits.
14:55 to go in this one. Sean Farnham was listening in to that Auburn Tigers huddle. What'd you learn?
Well, I think what Coach was really stressing is they got to have a higher pickup point. They want to be able to pressure the ball outside and be able to make sure they're taking contested and difficult two-point shots. Look on out-of-bounds execution right here in front of me, Tommy. They're going to look to try to get Dunbar on the block. Here comes the screen. Let's see if they get him. They didn't.
Dunbar, number 4 in white. Here's Wiley with the left. Claxton maybe got a piece of it. Hey, you know, you've got a front row seat. I mean, we always do at midcourt. Here's Crump on the other side. Is Nicholas Claxton more impressive up close when you consider the variety in his game and his size?
Well, yes, because of his length. I mean, you just don't, because of his slight frame, you don't think about the strength that he has. He's a wiry, strong athlete. His length is so impressive to see in the paint because he can alter shots even from players that are equal in size.
Claxton has 13 points and 3 blocks today. He had 5 blocks in the last game in Wednesday's win at home against Vandy.
You know, little things you listen to in a team that kind of gives you a sense of who they are, where the leadership comes from within. Obviously, Jared Harper is a big part of that. But Samir Doughty, in that last timeout, was talking about attention to detail. So remember I said, hey, a little bit late in that closeout by Spencer on the Hammonds 3? Yep. Doughty brought that up right away. It was like, hey, our closeouts, we've got to be quicker. We've got to be crisper in what we're trying to do. It's not just about what you're trying to build now in this game. It's about what you're trying to build towards if you're a team like Auburn.
You know, Bruce Pearl told me when I was here during the non-conference, Sean, that Samir Doughty is the kind of guy that makes every player better. And I only thought of it in my one-dimensional mind from when he was on the floor. You know, one of those glue guys that makes people on the floor that extends beyond just being a guy who can share the basketball.
Well, Seth Greenberg always says the term, right? Are you invested? How invested are you? Are you invested as a team? Are you invested as individuals? And it starts to be, when you want to be invested as a team, it's got to start with a couple of individuals.
They're going to count it for Crump on goaltending by Austin Wiley.
And obviously, it goes without saying, we talked about Harper. He's bought in. He's invested. Tommy, I'm away from the monitor. Good call, bad call. What do you say?
We didn't see it, only on the Jumbotron, which the students, they're a little bit partial, I found.
The fans didn't think it was a good call.
I don't know if they can be trusted to be impartial. Here's Harper.
Do you see how he just settles? I think that's a great thing, Tommy. I'm sitting down here on the baseline, and you can see as he dribbles the ball up the floor, he changes pace, and then he sits down. It's not about just explosion and using that first step. He's got a great first step. But as guards, you have to be able to change pace, change direction.
Crump able to find Ogbede off of the screen. Nice pass. Ogbede, Sean, who averages 10 points a game, only has 4 thus far today.
They did a great job, though, carving out space, coming off that screen, ducking into the middle of the paint.
You're not coming back, are you?
No, I'm going to hang out here for a while. I'll move around.
Can you bring some popcorn back if you do come by?
No.
Probably Dunbar, and he gets blocked.
I don't have any cash. But I will tell you this, watch Jared Harper again. He settles down and just sits before he gets into his shot. And it's that composure and that change of pace that makes you an elite level guard.
And so Malik Dunbar has a couple free throws coming. He's a big dude. He can play for Gus Malzahn on the football field. 6'6", 230, Malik Dunbar. And kind of reminds you of a football player when it comes to his padding. He's got the padding in the left hand. He's also got football pads on underneath his shorts. He's got thigh pads. He's got hip pads. He's got pad on the backside.
They play hard, man. He's a physical player. He's not afraid. When you got that much muscle and that much weight on you, you fall hard. So you got to protect yourself.
Talked to him before the game today. He said, man, this is what I always do. I can't remember when I didn't wear the girdle with the pads in it.
Good rebound that time by Okeke.
And an open 3 for Dunbar. Auburn up 14.
Hey, Tom, I'm just telling you, the unselfishness of Bryce Brown. Against Ole Miss, he shoots that three-point shot.
Yeah.
Today, he's playing within himself, and he's playing with trust and faith in his teammate.
Crump pinned by Wiley. They'll get goaltending again. Crump the beneficiary again. Georgia hanging in there. They're only down a dozen.
And Tom Crean just talked to his team about defensively. They need to get in, get locked into your stance. Communicate.
Bruce Pearl got his guys ready for Georgia today, insisting that when you drive, they will bother you with reach-ins. Up high to get the board that time is Jordan Harris, one of 6 lefties on this Georgia team. Crump, blocking foul. Crump trying to take over this game for Georgia, and he draws a foul on Brown.
You're driving down the lane here a little bit out of control. And as you spin in, defensive player not set, the official calls it, gives Crump the opportunity to get to the free throw line. Might have been a shuffle of feet there, Tommy.
Could have been. Tyree Crump, junior from Bainbridge High School in Georgia, same high school as football coach Kirby Smart. Doesn't have a 3 yet today, and coming into this game, 68% of his makes in his career were from behind the arc. Auburn's taking that away from him. Tyree Crump knocks them both down.
10-point game, Tom.
Yeah, Georgia within reach.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the fight of Georgia. That's no surprise with what Tom Crean's building, that his team's going to get after it and going to compete.
Bryce Brown goes baseline, finds Wiley, and he gets fouled. What did Tom Crean tell you were the non-negotiables and what he wanted to establish when he took over this program?
Well, he said there's 3 things that he was really looking to try to establish in year one. One was a work ethic. The other thing, you had to compete. And what he's done is he's had his starters go against starters instead of going against the scout team in order to make sure that they understand just how hard they have to compete every single day. And then the other thing was the energy. If you're going to play for Tom Crean, you better have outstanding energy because Coach is on fire at all times.
Yeah.
So you've got to be able to have energy. And he's not talking just about his team. He's talking about the fans. He's talking about the community. He wants everybody bought in. Very similar to what we've seen Bruce Pearl manufacture and build here at Auburn, making this the power that it's become inside the SEC. And look, this environment's spectacular. Wait till you see Stegman on Tuesday night when Kentucky comes to town.
Yeah,
it's going to be the Super Tuesday game with Carl Ravitch, Jimmy Dykes, and Laura Rutledge.
When Tom Crean was talking about that energy, he was talking about himself. He said, I have to be the high energy guy, and it can radiate from me. But in regards to good versus your starters going against scout team, he said, I don't have a veteran team that knows what I want. When I was at Indiana, I had Victor Oladipo, I had OG Anunoby. Those guys I could have work against the scout team or even sit sometimes. These kids need to learn, and they did a late flurry to make it a game late on the Plains.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get back to 100%. And in part by Hyundai.
My name is Curtis, and my favorite thing about the Egg White Grill is the egg itself. It's like soft and fluffy, like a pillow. I wouldn't eat my pillow, but I'd eat the Chick-fil-A breakfast egg white sandwich for sure.
To look towards the current and future success of the SEC, you have to look at the past. There are 5 head coaches in the league currently with Final Four experience. 2 at their current schools, John Calipari and Frank Martin. We haven't been in this situation since the 84-85 season. Joe B. Hall, Eddie Sutton, Norm Sloan in Florida. Dale Brown was at LSU, and Georgia's Hugh Durham. And now all of a sudden, you get guys like Ben Howland, who went to 3 straight Final Fours when he was at UCLA.
Yeah, and it's a big part of the reason why you see such an influx of talent in the SEC in the basketball front. And it's the same reason why you look to make splash hires. And the SEC no longer is in the business of trying to hire somebody that's going to have to develop into a head coach. They're getting guys that are ready-made to lead big programs.
Here's Crump off balance. And you know what? You could also fit in there. You get another coach with NBA Finals experience.
That was great hands by Spencer, though. Tom, I'll tell you this, too. The SEC resurgence, and Frank Martin told us this, and I agree with him. You can put the resurgence in the national narrative of this conference. As Bryce Brown lines up and knocks down a 3, they're going to review it to make sure it was a 3. But the narrative of this conference changed on the shoulders of Sindarius Thornwell. When South Carolina went as a 7 seed all the way to the Final Four, what it did was it opened up the nation's eyes to, wait, there's some good basketball being played in the southeastern portion of the United States.
Obene got a bump from McLemore. South Carolina and Ole Miss have been the 2 surprises in the league. South Carolina had today's game postponed because Missouri couldn't get on the road. They drove to Kansas City and flew to Columbia, South Carolina today. They'll play tomorrow. And Ole Miss knocked off Mississippi State tomorrow. 2 top 15 wins for the team that's picked to finish last.
Well, okay, that's fine. Predicted to finish last. How did last year's preseason poll look with where everybody had Tennessee?
Not good.
Right. So, credit to Kermit Davis. Their guards, maybe the most improved group. They went from being good to being great. And that comes from a great buy-in, again, with a coach that has had tournament success, knocked off Michigan State when he was at Middle Tennessee. And to go in and win in the hump today, that's impressive.
Freshman pretty good for Ole Miss too. Blake Hinson had 26. He had 5 of 11 from 3.
The problem for Georgia right now is the noise is so loud. I'm sitting down here by the Georgia side. Tom Crean's yelling, and his players can't hear him.
Harper. That's Okeke. You said it at the beginning. You think this has become the best home court advantage in the league. Claxton.
Whoa!
A challenge at the rim.
That's
for
a hard fall.
McLemore.
He's hurting a little bit there. He fell a little awkwardly, and you know, you talk about Dunbar and all the padding that he has on him. Part of the reason you put that padding on so you take falls like that, it doesn't hurt too bad. The athleticism and the ability to try to challenge at the rim. Nothing about it than just two great athletes going up, trying to make a play on the ball.
There's Claxton with a big leg kick as he went into McLemore. And you can make an argument in this day and age at the principle of verticality that McLemore was straight up. And it was something we had a long talk with Bruce Pearl about today, that they tried to clean up the game when they went to that rule. It's almost gotten more physical inside. ESPN Plus is your home for thousands of live events, including over 2,500 college basketball games, international soccer, UFC, and exclusive originals. Sign up now. Download the ESPN app or visit ESPNplus.com. Spelling bees, maybe?
There is the National Spelling Bee, is part of the ESPN family. But I'm so excited for UFC. I love combat fighting. I love the aggressiveness of it. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch that on ESPN Plus.
Free throws at the other end.
Bennett gets the foul called on him.
That's his 4th. It looks like Georgia is trying to stay in this game through the shooting of Tyree Crump. He is just 3 for 7. Who else can Tom Crean lean on to find some offense?
Well, they've got to get Claxton re-engaged into the offensive end. Now, obviously, he just got to the free throw line when he drove to the baseline, try to dunk it. But they got to set some screens for him, allow him to become a playmaker. He was their best offensive weapon in the first half.
Anthony McLemore.
A good rebound and a foul. So
Okeke has more fouls than points today. Came in averaging 10 points a game. He's at 2. That's his 4th personal. Okeke kind of took over the SEC last year as a true freshman. Surprised some folks coming out of Westlake High School, same high school that produced De'Aaron Fox. And the guy was pretty popular around here, Cam Newton.
He's pretty good. He had some success. Trouble getting the ball, and the pressure and the quickness and the switching and communication you're seeing from Auburn really at a high level right there. They set the screen, look for Claxton and get the ball back.
Yeah,
he's just walking right there.
He doesn't have a single field goal attempt this half. Here's a touch late in the shot clock for him.
That should be a moving screen, to be honest with you. The fact that that's not on Claxton is unbelievable. Claxton did the dribble handoff and just ran right into Harper, causing Harper to fall down. And setting a screen is a point of emphasis.
It turned into not really being a screen. He was just kind of
ran
running
into
towards the wing.
Right. It's not a wide base. With Hammonds being out right now, Claxton's got to be the guy that gets the shot.
Dunbar collided with Harris.
We got free throws. There's going to be a lot of free throws shot in the last 9:27 there, partner.
I hope you have pre-check.
Not clear.
So here's Jordan Harris, junior from Iron City, Georgia, to the free throw line. Southpaw, one of 6 lefties on this Georgia roster. Do you know that's 2 more than the Atlanta Braves had on their NLDS roster in October?
I did not know that, Tom.
It's a lot of lefties. Are you a lefty?
No, I'm a righty. I used to pitch.
You think you can hold the microphone in your left hand? Look at you. You're amphibious.
Ambidextrous, that's what they call that, Tom.
Harris has 5.
Tom Crean yelling at his bench right now, imploring them to provide energy, and he's telling his kids to get down in a stance. Let's see if they can stay down in the stance. It's easy to get there early. Can you stay there late?
Brown takes an early three and a good three. He's got 15.
Tommy, how do you go under on Bryce Brown?
You should never.
You have to be able to show on that screen and stay over the top. If you go underneath on Harper and Brown, they're going to knock it in.
Am I right that you could go underneath on just about everybody else for Auburn?
Yes, I would. But those two, you can't.
Turtle Jackson left open and knocks it down.
Look how quickly Auburn gets the ball right back up on the floor. I'd go right back to the same play and see if they go underneath again. See, that time he stayed on his hip. Caused some problems for Bryce Brown just by staying attached.
Auburn has hit 4 of 8 threes in the second half. They're shooting 53% from the floor in the second half.
Too much dribbling.
Harper into the paint. Tried to go with the left, and Claxton got
That's on Bryce Brown. I mean, Tom, if you're dribbling the ball that much and not going anywhere, that's bad basketball. You've got to be able to give it up. Now, Bryce Brown has had a really good game. He's been a facilitator. He's been more selective in his shots. But when you take 15, 20 dribbles and you've got 4 other guys watching you, what that allows the defense to do is really settle in and settle back. And that's what made that drive more difficult for Harper, is because of the amount of dribbles that Bryce Brown took.
Jared Harper kind of limping around. Only 1 second in the shot clock here for Auburn after the 4th block of the game from Claxton.
Look at them maybe trying to get a lob play for McLemore.
They'll get Javon McCormick in, and Harper will spend some time with athletic trainer Clark Pearson.
There's a timeout coming under 8 minutes of stoppage of play there.
1 on the clock. Quick touch. And a shot clock violation. Harper will get 10-2. Claxton draws contact and gets his first bucket of the second bucket of the second half.
And that's why I want his hands on the ball. When Hammonds is off the floor and he's back on it now, it needs to be Claxton. Hammonds is the secondary guy that needs to get going scoring-wise for them to come back in this game. Poor communication again on the screen, but good switching that time by Georgia. Good hands defensively by Turtle Jackson. And that's a foul.
Second personal on Horace Spencer. It's a 13-point lead for number 11 Auburn, trying to hold on at home.
Cool on the money.
Oh my God!
There's the tap.
Unbelievable. Wow. What a nice place. Hey, Grandma. What are you doing here?
Eat.
Okay. I'll see you on Sunday.
Bye-bye.
Make it where you want.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi.
Hola.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I'm looking for him, Cotter. I'm looking for him. It's not the same as the ESPN calf nachos, and that's the most difficult thing to meet. I mean, you know how good the cake is in the calf.
Cotter doesn't eat cake. You see those biceps?
No, he loads up on the cake, too. I mean, my guy Cotter, like, I'm working up there. Like, so I work in the studio with Dallin and Cotter. Dallin Cuff is probably the most physically fit analyst that we have at ESPN. The guy is like eating chai seeds and celery at all times. I'm like, what's going on? And then there's Chris Cotter, and Cotter is like a workout fiend with the protein shakes. I'm having to get in better shape just to try to maintain my positioning at the desk.
You don't have to worry about that on the road with me. We'll go to Acre for the chicken fried bacon on Friday night. We'll go to Bow and Arrow Barbecue for the ribs and turkey and brisket on Saturday.
And beans and mac and cheese.
Cream corn. That's good. Here's Spencer inside. Claxton with another block. And he's been a defensive force. And 5th block of the game. What's Georgia missing on the offensive end?
In this game?
Overall.
Overall. Guard play. Now, they need better guard play. And they need a guard that can create a shot for themselves. They need a guard that can consistently knock down the three-point shot. And they don't really have that.
No.
And they're doing it by committee. And the committee is fighting and they're scrapping and they're doing what they can. But you're going to compete in this conference. Look at the guards across the SEC. Maybe the best guard in the SEC is not even playing this year. And Darius Garland, who was the freshman at Vanderbilt, tore his ACL and missing the entire season for Bryce Drew. The way they started, they went out to USC, they knocked off USC, and they've reestablished who they are. But guard play really important. Nembhard and what he's meant for Florida. We talk about Tennessee and Florida coming up. Jordan Bone.
Bone's been fantastic. But with Hammonds, Ogbede, and Claxton, it's kind of like a 3-man front court for Georgia instead of balance.
Right, but you're asking that 3-man front court to also be your back court at times. And we've seen that with Claxton being away from the basket with the ball in his hands.
Wiley follows his miss. Claxton another block. That's his 6th. 5 blocks last time out, 6 tonight. He's given Georgia a chance. Ty Fagan out front. Claxton, the lefty.
Look at the fight by Harris, though. Not giving up on the play, getting back in it, getting the extra possession.
Harris, no. And knocked out of bounds by Auburn. Nicholas Claxton just doesn't stop.
Incredible motor at the defensive end, leading straight up. Times it perfectly, doesn't reach in until the moment where he knows he can go and get it. Came into the game with 44 blocks. That was best in the SEC. His point production up 9 per game. His rebounds up 6 per game. His blocks up almost 2 per game from where they were a season ago. That also comes with increased minutes, obviously, without Yante Maton. But sometimes you see guys get extra minutes and their efficiency goes down. Not the case here for Claxton.
Malik Dunbar came away with the ball that time, under 6 to go. Auburn leading by 10. Auburn has only made 1 of its last 7. Okiki. What do we got?
Yeah, we got 3 officials looking at each other, and they're going to call it a jump ball. That means the possession arrow goes to Auburn. But in a situation, if you're Auburn, you're thinking to yourself, well, we thought that ball went out of Georgia, and now we just lost the possession arrow. If you're Tom Crean, you're going, wait, we thought we got to stop, and now we got to defend again.
Hightower returns for Georgia. And Turtle Jackson, no, Ty Fagan will come out. Just a couple minutes for Fagan, the freshman out of Thomas in Georgia. It seems to me as a shot blocker, Nicholas Claxton has a lot of blocks on his man versus coming over from weak side help.
Length, timing, and athleticism. Those are the 3 attributes that he has that allows him to be so skilled with that.
Jackson forced a turnover on a dig. Jordan Harris lost the handle, regathered.
Just unsettled in transition that time. They had a numbers opportunity, and now you got to go against the half court. And look at the floor spacing. There's 15 on the shot clock. They haven't gotten into anything yet. Now there's 10, and they still haven't moved.
Hammonds will offer the screen. Now there's 6. They haven't
going the wrong direction.
Broken the 3-point line yet. Now it's 2. And Auburn comes away with a steal. Harper, open floor. Dowdy for three. "15 Auburn points off of Georgia turnovers." And then Wiley with his third personal.
The difference between having a guard that really understands how to have awareness and vision of where his teammates are. Harper in transition, looks up, gets the defense to pinch in by looking down the lane, by being the threat to drive. He forces Turtle Jackson to come all the way in. As he comes in, now that's a kick to the corner. It's too long of a run out, and it's going to be a wide open three. That's a great understanding by Jared Harper.
T-Shawn Hightower at the free throw line. 45% of his points, 41% of his assists have come in the last 6 games. The sophomore is starting to break out for Georgia. Tonight, after the UFC main event over on ESPN, stick around for SportsCenter with John Anderson and Kenny Mayne. They'll have complete Colts-Chiefs post-game coverage from a snowy Arrowhead. Top moments and reactions from the Cowboys-Rams. And the Spurs and Thunder face off again. That's tonight at 11 on ESPN and also on the ESPN app. Kansas City leads Indianapolis 23-7. They're looking for their first home playoff game win since January of '94.
Joe Montana was the quarterback then, right? Is that correct?
You might be right.
I think that was right after he left the 49ers.
You were a 49ers fan growing up. Did it break your heart, or did you say, you know what, I'm ready for Steve Young?
No, it broke my heart. And then I saw Steve Young play, and I was like, no, never mind. This dude's a Hall of Famer, too. I'm good. It's just been a great month of sports. I mean, this week was a great NFL football weekend, obviously, championship weekend. The NBA, the action's been unbelievable.
Wiley couldn't find it. Out front, Hammonds. Harper stole it away. He's got Dunbar up front if he wants him. The lob. Oh my goodness! Malik Dunbar!
Wow. What a nice place. Hey, Grandma. What are you doing here?
Eat, eat.
Okay. I'll see you on Sunday.
Bye-bye.
Make it where you want.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi.
Hola.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Jared Harper is a great point guard, kind of like Chris Cotter is at the desk. How about this?
Just great tracking down, like a defensive back getting back in the play. Jared Harper just rips it from him. Out in transition, elite level court vision. The athleticism of Dunbar, but that play was made by Jared Harper. He's got 7 assists, 0 turnovers, Tommy.
Wow. Harper has made a bucket or assisted on 38% of Auburn's field goals on the season. He's on the Lute Olson watch list. Taken away, Malik Dunbar. Watch how Dunbar cocked this thing when he caught it in front of the rim. I should say behind the rim.
A little kiss to the crowd. And this place has been electric all afternoon.
They built something special here. And this Auburn team win the SEC regular season again?
They could. They could. But Tennessee right now is the class of the conference. They have just been so consistent. Admiral Schofield, Grant Williams, the best duo in the SEC.
Tennessee gets
Jordan Bone is going to be the key for them to try to win a national championship in the conference again this year.
Oh! Just leave now. Just leave.
Tom, did you see that? What was that? You gotta be kidding me.
That was so good. Nick, the management major, has told us he's going to stay here for another 5 years.
Oh my goodness. Stop the tape. Do we even use tape anymore, or is it all digital?
Yes.
Stop the streaming. Oh my goodness. Do it again.
They're going to change the song to Chuma, Do You Love Me?
There's been, 30 fouls called in this game. We can get one right now. That wouldn't be bad.
Harper with the triple. Auburn's run continues. On the other side, Jackson.
Tom, I literally left the table.
Yeah, well, it's not the first time.
And it wasn't because of something you said.
Promise I showered. Harper trying to get out of a oncoming double.
All right, here we go. Go back 2 possessions ago. Harper had a nice 3, but that's not what we're focused on. We're focused on that. Oh, that's going to be on SportsCenter tonight. Are you kidding me, Tom? A little late in the rotation underneath. Hammond's got to a point and all of a sudden went like this. Uh-oh, I'm out. The bench, yeah, he likes it. Oh, I think that says it pretty well. Yeah, a lot of fun on the plains today.
Jared Harper working on a 19-point night.
Oh, Tom. The athleticism, and that's where, again, we talk about this team. Okay, how good can Auburn be? Can they repeat as conference champions? They can. They can. But it's about the attention to detail and not having breakdowns at the defensive end of the floor. It's about your interior presence, providing a level of consistency that helps alleviate some of the pressure from your guards. You can't rely on Harper and Brown every night, because when they have an off night like they had at Ole Miss, you take a loss. And what you do inside this building has to translate to what you can do away from this building on the road.
McLemore gave it back up. Tennessee and Florida are coming up next over on ESPN as Tyree Crump throws in a 3. This is a Tennessee team that has won its 2 SEC games by an average of 35 points. Last time out, Kyle Alexander had a double-double, 14 points and a career-high 17 rebounds. We got 2 great Big Monday games for you this week on ESPN at 7 Eastern. Number 1 plays host to Syracuse in Durham. Then at 7, then at 9, 7th-ranked Kansas from Allen Fieldhouse as they play host to Texas. Texas lost at home to Texas Tech today. It was their first home loss to the Red Raiders since 1996 when they were both in the old Southwest Conference. It was the Red Raiders' first win in 23 tries in Austin.
And Jarrett Culver, one of those other sophomores in college basketball that has really taken a step in the right direction. Chris Beard's team, elite at the defensive end of the floor.
How about this?
They're going to give Kansas their run for the money in the conference.
Culver, Claxton. Similarities, lean. Scores, Claxton more interior, more 6'11". Culver's a little bit smaller.
But as far as level of importance in filling a void by like a Keenan Evans, who left Texas Tech, right?
Yeah.
To filling in the void for a Yante Mayton that left Georgia? Yes.
And opportunities that they've taken advantage of.
You know, you get the door open for you as a player, and you have to be prepared to walk through it. And there's a lot of times where guys just aren't, and they become complacent with wherever they're at. And Claxton's one of those guys that's improved dramatically, and so is Culver. Culver's on that midseason Wooden top 25 list.
Near walk from Brown, but he was able to get rid of it. Minute 15 to go. Okay. We talked about Auburn. We know what's in their future. McLemore left alone. What about Georgia? You mentioned they need better guard play. They get Kentucky Tuesday night.
They've recruited for better guard play moving forward. They've got 2 good recruits that they've already signed. But, you know, what I love about Tom Green's team, and we've even seen it tonight late, I mean, they're still trying to get better. They're still executing and trying to do what coach wants him to do. And in the first year, that's what you really want to see. At home against Kentucky, they're going to have to hope that the Wildcats don't shoot the ball well from the outside, defend the paint, and make life difficult around the rim. And the concern comes when you turn the ball over 16 times like they did tonight. You do that against the Cats, they're going to get out and get on you as well.
Harper trying to put the exclamation point on it. Here's Turtle Jackson.
And Tom Crean's got his building buzzing. It'll be sold out on Super Tuesday for Ravi, Jimmy, and Laura. Make sure you're watching that one Tuesday night.
Or you can watch my game. I'll be at Mississippi State on the SEC Network. Thanks for the plug. Auburn scores 93 tonight. 93-78 is the final. Bruce Pearl gets a bet of Tom Crean in their first ever matchup. Coming up next, we'll take you to snowy Syracuse as the Orange play host at Georgia Tech. But for right now, we got to put a cap on this one. Jared Harper to Malik Dunbar, high above the rim. And then a finishing touch by Kiki. Do you love me? Jordan Cornette, Chris Cotter, it's yours.